When did you realize that your partner was not in fact the one? These are Reddit's best answers to that question. She hated when I wasn't with her and she wasn't happy when I was. Somebody replied, man, I lived like this for a year and dang. I think she got addicted to the security of having me around, but she didn't actually like me. The most traumatic breakup I've ever lived through, but it was the best relationship decision I've ever made. Sometimes the best decisions are the hardest ones. When I went to the airport to pick her up, flowers in hand, and stood there until the last of the luggage had been picked up, before I realized she hadn't even gotten on the plane. Oh my goodness. Wait, did she just never get on, or did she miss her flight? I need more context, please. She ghosted me intentionally, this person replied. I had to call her mother to make sure she was physically okay, but she refused to talk to me and ignored me for like 3 weeks. Oh my god, that's terrible. I mean, that is like the lowest of the low. This isn't a sad or dramatic one. We had a really good girlfriend and boyfriend type relationship. But when stuff got real and long-term commitment, marriage, buying a house, having a baby, peered over the horizon, we both freaked out and bailed. The catalyst was my mate's wedding towards the end of the relationship. I was embarrassed at how leery and drunk she was being. She was annoyed that I was being no fun and wouldn't dance. There was no one else on the dance floor. We're still friends now. My wife is nothing like my ex, and my ex's new partner is nothing like me. Everyone involved made the correct decision. Yeah, again, that's a good outcome. When I celebrated their growth, but they were angry at mine. I mean, yeah, that is a terrible one. If you're not happy for your partner's progression in life, in whatever sort of aspect of their life that may be, that is a really bad trait to have. Maybe they were mad you were taller than them. Jeez. I mean, you just know when you go on Reddit, you're going to get stuff like that, and I love it. When I found out that one of my close friends has suddenly died and I burst into tears, to which he said, "What are you insecure about this time?" And when I said I just found out my friend died, he turned around and walked out of the room. The next day, I was talking to his mum about it in the kitchen and she was comforting me, to which he again said, "Can you stop being insecure?" And his mum practically tore him in half with words. I left him soon after, and I'm now in a very happy and healthy relationship with someone who also helps navigate my grief with me. I miss his parents sometimes though. They were lovely people and deserved a better son than him. Edit to add, it's worth noting we were together for almost 5 years as well, so not a new relationship or anything like that. So after 5 years, this guy just goes to you, "I don't care if your friend died. Stop being so insecure, it doesn't matter." Wow. It is a good thing, I agree, that his parents clearly were better than him, and you can't blame his mum for making him a terrible person. He screamed at me in public in front of our friends when I beat him at a board game. Oh, I mean, that we talk about insecure. How insecure do you have to be to do that? I mean, yeah, if you don't know after that it's going to be over, I don't know if you ever will. Was it Monopoly or Uno? Someone asked. Now, the person replied, "I tried really hard to remember and realized I messed up my comment. It wasn't a board game. It was Magic the Frickin' Gathering. He literally had a win con, so he would win at the beginning of his round, and I killed him off. He got so mad, he yelled at me in front of like 6 other people that I targeted him and that I'm a female dog." When did you find out your partner was not in fact the one? Years, decades too late. She wanted a goat that would live in the house with us. She wanted to invite Lionel Messi to live with you as a roommate. I'd say yes. Anyway, one that would go hiking with us and graze. Okay, maybe not Leo. I was vehemently against this idea. We still hadn't recovered from all the chicken trash in the spare bedroom. The goat she brought home was crippled. It would never graze. It would need to be hand-fed for its entire life. She tried to bargain with me using sex. What is this sort of woman? The one thing I don't really understand is how do you only find out that your partner is like this decades too late? Surely she's shown the size of this for at least a few years before this point. I don't know. When she left me because I got sad that my friend died. We were engaged. Is this the same person as before? Well, that's what you get for feeling applicable emotions. Seriously, what the frick is wrong with people? Nowadays, kids call this getting the ick. Yeah, 100%, which by the way, in and of itself is a crazy thing. He started drinking a 24 case of beer by himself, would yell at me about God knows what because he was hammered, pass out on the floor and pee himself, then act like nothing happened the next day. What a winner. Alcoholism is a good reason relationships end, to be honest. Good thing you got out. Somebody else said, yep, mine had such a tolerance that I rarely saw him drunk or past tipsy, though if he added weed on top, he acted super annoying. But his lack of care for himself was such a turn-off. I'd physically cringe when I'd hear the next can open. Oh, that is terrible. He refused to see a doctor for years or do something about it. And then he started having weird and painful symptoms. Had to be supportive while he was convinced he was dying, even though tests kept coming back okay. He even quit drinking for a few weeks. Now he's back at it and wants to get back together again. Well, at least you're not with him anymore. When she threatened me with a knife and started stabbing the bed because I didn't want to drink more with her. That's probably the most crazy one yet. Interesting. I know someone who did something similar when he tried to break up with his girlfriend, except she stabbed her bicep. This caused him to get back in a relationship. I don't understand people. What the hell? Okay, those two people were probably just made for each other. That is really weird. When I realized he doesn't take no for an answer for anything. Oh my goodness. I mean, that is just childish beyond belief. Someone says, after growing up with parents like that, how someone responds to no is basically my first litmus test. If they're not able to handle a no, that's it. The person replied, I was in college and I didn't know that. But even then, it made me feel terrible. My parents actually were like this too, and I did not know then that this was not normal. He is still trying to contact me 14 years later. 14 years later. Really strange, obsessive behavior. You did well to cut contact with him. When I felt a sense of dread when coming home to her, or when I was at home and she was coming home to me, wondering what triviality she'd be angry about this time. That is probably the worst, you know, when you feel like nothing's amiss, you know, everything's fine, but you just know in the back of your mind there's going to be something that you're going to get pestered for, or he's going to be angry about, that's just so not necessary at all and just doesn't matter in the slightest. But it's more just they want to find something to be annoyed at. Terrible. Someone replied, been there, man. I used to wonder why the old guys at work just wanted to go to the pub every day afterwards. Then I got a decent job and a bad relationship, and every time I got in the car, I wished I drank. Oh, goodness. By the way, guys, throughout all of this, comment down below. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you have been in situations like this as well. When did you realize that your partner was not, in fact, the one? I want to hear your thoughts. Let's carry on. Oh, great. When he started physically hurting my dog. Yeah, that's illegal. Let's probably go to the police about that. When I caught her in bed with my brother. Okay, this episode has taken a slight turn here. Just two crazy answers back to back. Your brother ain't the one too. Yeah, at least that way you knew. You know, the person I'm with isn't the one. Okay, cut her out. And also, is not going to be my brother as well. So you killed two birds with one stone there. You're doing well. Only, you know, 7.99998 billion people left. I mean, I've missed out a few nines there, but we're getting the numbers down. Hadn't had sex in over 6 months. Decided to go down on her when we woke up to rekindle the spark. She didn't move. I looked up and asked what was wrong, and she started crying. She finally admitted to my suspicions. After 8 years together and a move across the country to chase our dreams, she'd been cheating on me for months with her boss's son. Straight up had a boyfriend behind my back. Man, I'm so sorry. That is devastating. You'll find the right one, the girl that is good for you and to you, that will love all of you. It will come. Some nice words there. Oh, this is interesting. Somebody has said that the one, in quotes, is a fantasy person that movies and books make up. The majority of us never meet this dream person. In reality, you meet someone who you gets you are attracted to, and are willing to do for them as they are for you. It's a partnership that takes work. That is the reality. Okay, that is interesting. Someone else has added, there's no such thing as the one. There's only the one who will put up with my trash. Maybe that's true. I mean, do you agree with that, guys? Comment down below. I'm not sure. I do. I like to have a positive outlook on these sort of things, and I reckon that the one is out there. Let me know if you disagree down below. When the SWAT team captain said, your wife is out running around with people like this, you need to get a divorce. Wow, okay. My wife had a 6-figure job at one point, and we lived a happy life for a while, but she never grew out of her party phase from when she was younger. I was blinded by love, so no matter what she did, I would tolerate it and then forgive her. She lost her job from being continually late all the time, suspected of doing drugs at work, and taking too many martini lunches. Her dealer got her to sell drugs for him while she was unemployed. Cut to her spending all hours out at night while I work a normal 9 to 5 and did homework with the kids. Oh my goodness. She'd come home and be high from meth benders and completely detached from reality. Just did not care. One night, I got a knock at the door while my kids and I are laughing and doing homework. It's the SWAT team captain peering into the home to see my kids and asking if I can come outside to talk. I agree, and I'm told with the door closed that the house is surrounded with his team packing MP5s, and they are looking for this douchebag last seen with my wife who had shot someone over a deal gone bad. I am mortified to hear and get the question above that changed my life for the better. You don't love her, she's a menace, she will eventually pull you and the kids down. Divorce is worth every penny. Oh my goodness me. I mean, let's be honest, he's not wrong, but just imagine being in that situation. When I made him a surprise and I bought him some gym shorts and he didn't like them and started to throw a tantrum in my face, telling me how dumb he looks in the shorts and how he'd never wear them at all because look at how stupid they are. He then threw the package box in my face, and that was the moment I knew I had to run. If you're not gracious about gifts, even if you don't like them, it doesn't matter. You're just a terrible person. Oh, what an absolute idiot. When I realized that every time she went away for extended time, instead of missing her, I was excited that I got to have some alone time and do stuff with my friends instead of her. Interestingly, someone's actually replied below, I've never been in a relationship, but isn't this okay? Everyone needs some alone time, no? I don't think so. Personally, I'm not sure. I don't think you should feel excited that your partner has gone away. I mean, yeah, you can think, okay, now I've got some more time to do things with myself or like see my friends more than usual, which I guess is a good thing. But I don't know about being in a relationship where you're not allowed to do that anyway, to be honest, or where your partner's not happy with you doing that. Anyway, someone replied again, it's okay to occasionally feel that way, but if it's literally every single time, then it might be a sign. Yeah, that's probably well summed up. When she told me to get a girlfriend for sex. Okay. When I asked her to marry me and she said no. Well, yeah, that'll do it as well. Which one of these is worse? Comment down below. There was a picture she painted of me years ago that hung on our wall. It was beautiful and was like a whole bunch of blue triangles that made out my face, and it's my favourite thing of me that's ever existed. Then, one day after a couple of bad years, she got in a relatively speaking small argument with me over something and started freaking out. She tore the painting off the wall and destroyed it. The argument was so pointless that I couldn't even remember what it was about a week later. I know it sounds dumb, but when she painted that for me at the beginning of our relationship, it meant everything to me. And after multiple awful years, that was when I knew things could never go back. And that painting, an image I had of myself and our love and relationship, would forever be broken and unfixable. That one is just sad. I spent hours scrubbing the house spotless on my one day off from work. I pre-scheduled a delivery order of Chinese food for 7 p.m. I put on new lingerie I'd ordered and I lit candles. I did my hair, nails and makeup. I put on his favourite perfume. When he came home at 6, I enthusiastically told him everything was taken care of for the night, and we had a whole hour until dinner arrived to do whatever we wanted. I intended to be romantic. He got really angry. He didn't yell, his voice got weird and quiet. He said he knew I was manipulating him and ruining his plans to watch a DJ night livestream. He said I was acting like a sex predator. He said my mentally ill behaviour was forcing him into making a no kissing rule going forward, effective immediately, as punishment because I couldn't be appropriate. Alright, just off the rip, this guy's clearly just really weird. I mean, what are these things? And also, who is DJ Knight? He said I was wasting all his money on takeout because I'm just a stupid gold digger who's bad with money. Yeah, we could probably stop there. We're not going to, we're going to carry on. That I only wanted to baby trap him so he wouldn't leave me. He was relentlessly angry and I was horrified. We'd been together for 14 years, married for 4, and I loved him. He locked himself in our guest bedroom and only came out when the food arrived, then grabbed it off the counter and went right back into the bathroom. He refused to look at me. I still hoped he was coming out after the live stream, so I sat on the couch alone and ate my dinner in silence for an hour. When I realized he was not coming out, even to apologize, I was overwhelmed with this soul-rending despair. I realized he didn't say bathroom, he said guest bedroom. I feel like bathroom would be a lot funnier though. Imagine going into the bathroom, locking yourself in, watching some DJ night on Twitch, and eating a Chinese takeout. I don't like guest bedroom. Swap that for bathroom. Anyway, OP says they went to their room alone and cried themselves to sleep so hard they lost their voice the next day. I was so freaking lonely and scared all the time with him. That wasn't my first time seeing him transform into Judge Doom, and unfortunately, it wasn't the last. We divorced 2 years later when he left me for real. He still tries to make my life a living heck through the courts every possible second that he can. So a very, very weird guy, and also just a terrible human too. All right, guys, so there we go. Get your comments in down below. That's going to do it for this one, but now it's time for you to get your thoughts. I want to hear your answers to the question. When did you know, the person you were with, the person that you really thought could be the one, in fact, wasn't going to be? I think for me personally, the answer that I kind of sympathize with or kind of understand the most is the one about little trivialities coming up every single day or just all the time when nothing was really wrong, but something was always wrong, if that makes sense. Like everything was fine, but the person that you were with just always wanted to make something out of nothing, or it always seemed as if something just so innocuous was going on with them, or they wanted to bring something up that just wasn't relevant at all. But yeah, almost as if something had to be wrong when actually everything was completely fine, and it got too much. There you go. That's probably the one that I can sympathize with the most. But yeah, get your thoughts down below. I want to hear your answers.